Request lagu favoritmu di fitur live chat Audio Plus aplikasi RCTI Plus.
So I think passion it's the most important thing when you want to reach a high objective, when you want to grow. Passion is the first thing we need.
And you can already feel that in the first couple of days here, and I'm glad to hear it.
Absolutely. Also, the pressure will come, but that's part of the game.
Absolutely.
Passion, I think it's the most beautiful thing in the game.
Dan sepertinya dalam 2 hari baru Jordi nyampe di Indonesia, dia sudah merasa seberapa cinta negara kita terhadap sepak bola, dan ini hal yang sangat penting untuk sepak bola. Now, first off, congratulations on being appointed as the new technical advisor for the Indonesian Football Federation. So perhaps we can, for those that may not be familiar with this particular role, perhaps you can define what the role of a technical advisor entails and what will be your main duties as a technical advisor.
Well, I think it's important to differentiate roles, as you said. I think the day-to-day is obviously the head coach, Patrick Kluivert here, together with the staff. And that's the day-to-day thing, but there's also very important in football is the strategy. The short-term, middle-term, long-term strategy to grow, to get the maximum out of a very big population that you have here, and to try to really grow, to try to find those talents already at a very young age, because then you have a much better national team in the future. So I think it's about, football is not only about the pitch, it's also about making the right strategic decisions to try to take the maximum out of the future.
And basically the infrastructure as well around the entire football industry as a whole for our country, as well as I believe with your extensive network, how do you believe that this will help? Because obviously you've had actually help you in your role as a technical advisor for Indonesia.
Well, the fact that already from a very young age, having a father who was a football player means as a young kid, you have moving from one country to another. And it gives you a sense of fast adaptation in a positive way. You learn to adapt very quick. You learn to analyze very quick. And I think already in my life, it's one of the things I love the most, to discover new places, new cultures, new ways of thinking, and to try to find a successful formula to get the maximum out of it. And that's one of the things that really attracts me. I remember the day that Patrick signed here, as old teammates, and in the world of football, everybody knows each other. So the first thing I did was kind of analyze what it was, it was a special, a surprising move with a lot of attention. And then you start to analyze a little bit the potential, and then you see there's a lot of potential to grow. And I think that makes it super special.
Great. Sedikit rangkuman dulu ya, karena pertanyaan pertama saya berhubungan sama role Jordi sebagai penasihat teknis untuk PSSI, dan sebenarnya kalau tugas apa yang terjadi di lapangan berhubungan sama pemain, ini adalah tugasnya Coach Patrick Kluivert. Tapi di luar itu juga banyak hal-hal lain yang harus ditangani, seperti development dari pemain sepak bola dari umur yang lebih muda. Dan Jordi sendiri, kenapa dia tertarik sama role ini adalah karena dia melihat Indonesia ini penuh dengan potensi. Tapi potensi ini membutuhkan strategi yang benar. Dan tugas dia adalah gimana caranya untuk membentuk sebuah strategi untuk short term maupun long term untuk bisa membuat development sepak bola di Indonesia lebih berkembang lagi, apalagi dari umur yang sangat muda. Dan saya juga menanyakan mengenai pengalaman dia, karena dia pengalamannya bukan hanya di satu negara tapi berbagai negara maupun di Asia atau di Eropa, dan dia juga merasa bahwa justru jaringan dia sebagai seseorang bukan hanya mantan pemain tapi mantan pelatih juga bisa membantu PSSI bisa ada network yang lebih luas lagi. Bukan hanya Bapak Erick Thohir yang harus jalan ke sana sini untuk bertemu pemain sama pelatih atau staff, tapi sekarang dia punya jaringan tersendiri yang bisa menjadi penasehat buat PSSI juga. I'd like to ask you a little bit in regards to what are your first things on the agenda for you that you plan on doing. Obviously there's a big match day coming up, but outside of that.
Well, I think it's quite logic, because if you want advice, the first thing you need to do is to analyze. You need to understand the culture, the sport mentality, how to reach objectives, also to show a lot of interest in the local league, to see what are the strong points, what are the points that can be maybe improved, to try to get the maximum out of the players, also for the future. And of course, we do all the decisions. It's a team, federation, of course, the national team coach, Kluivert, with myself. Probably we will look for a sport director or technical director who will be living here day to day. And all of us together in group, we will try to kind of design the right strategy to reach the points Indonesia wants to reach.
Oke, yang saya nanyakan adalah apa sih poin-poin yang utama yang akan di-address ya, terutama dari Jordi di awal, dan salah satu yang pertama yang dia akan lakukan adalah analisa. Dia ingin analisa semua level, dan saya juga sempat ngobrol sama Jordi kemarin. Hal yang penting adalah dia ingin ngobrol sama bukan hanya pelatih, tapi pemain, tapi staff juga untuk bisa dapat gambaran yang lebih jelas. Ini infrastrukturnya seperti apa dan strategi ke depan yang harus dibentuk seperti apa juga. Dia juga ingin analisa liga lokal kami juga di Indonesia untuk bisa dapat gambaran pemain lokal kita seperti apa. Dan yang pasti tugas yang utama salah satunya adalah mencari technical director atau director teknis. Now let's actually segue to that since you brought it up. Technical director is a role that has been assigned for you to have input in findings. So you yourself have had obviously much experience in a technical director or director of sports. So your current plan to appoint a technical director in Indonesia, what are your considerations in looking for the right candidate?
Well, I think it has to be somebody who has experience with different countries, different cultures, different strategies. I also think it's imperative that the person can work together with a national team coach from all the ages, and from there on to design the right structure, help in the day-to-day. And I think it's important to have somebody here to really kind of design the strategy and to know exactly where we want to go and how to get there. So I think it's important to have somebody who, again, I repeat, has experience abroad, that he's open-minded, that he's quick to adapt to new places, because every culture is different. And it's important to work together as a group, as I said before also, together with the federation, together with the coaching staff, and all together to try to create the same direction, the same path towards good results.
Common goal.
Yeah.
So yang saya menanyakan adalah role-nya Dirtek, apa sih yang dicari untuk kandidat tersebut, dan yang pasti kalau Jordi ingin kandidat untuk Dirtek ini bisa seseorang yang punya pengalaman di berbagai negara-negara lain di dunia ini, karena dia juga ingin seseorang yang punya pengetahuan yang luas, pengalaman yang luas, dan juga dari kebudayaan juga terekspos sama kebudayaan lain di luar Indonesia saja, dan juga bisa kerjasama sama tim PSSI sama pelatih-pelatih di setiap level untuk membentuk strategi yang tepat untuk semua level bisa menuju ke goal yang sama, yaitu meningkatkan sepak bola di Indonesia. So I want to talk about your personal experience, because you mentioned how it would be good to have a technical director that has a more worldly experience, I suppose, like a more global kind of cultural experience. You yourself have a very interesting background. You obviously are a son of arguably the best Dutch footballer of all time, but you actually started at a young age in Spain. Can you tell us a little bit about how that experience was for you, having played at the youth level in Spain, and actually you make a home in Spain as well?
Yeah, I think that's having a father that moved a lot of countries, played in different places, and the fact is my first language, like my mother language, if I can say this, is Spanish. That was the first language I ever spoke, and that's why I also understand in many cases when we talk about players from different cultures playing for which national team. For me, I think I'm one of the few players who played for the Holland, the Netherlands, Dutch national team without ever having played a game in the Dutch league.
Right.
So I do understand that part. I had the option to play for Spain and also the option to play for the Holland national team. My first language was Spanish. I spent most of my life living in Spain, but I played for Holland. And it's one of those decisions you make with your heart, and you just feel it's the right one, and that's the decision I made.
And how do you feel that helped you be more rounded or complete as a person, both as a person and a footballer?
Well, I think it makes you open-minded. It makes you understanding. It makes you also understand different cultures, different ways of thinking. And to be honest, the Dutch style, normally it's a very beautiful way of playing football. Very, trying to dominate, trying to play to win. And together with the Spanish mentality, they have also a very strong winning mentality. So the mix of both is a very interesting mix. Very interesting.
Yang saya menanyakan adalah justru Jordi Cruyff ini punya background yang sangat unik, di mana dia adalah anaknya Johan Cruyff, seorang footballer legendaris dari Belanda, tapi dia dari umur yang sangat muda sudah pindah ke Spanyol dan udah dari youth academy-nya di sana dan main bertahun-tahun, bahkan dia pun tinggalnya di sana saat ini juga. Bahasa utama dia juga Spanyol, dan tadi juga sebut bahwa ada fakta menarik di mana dia sebenarnya salah satu pemain timnas Belanda yang tidak pernah main di Liga Belanda sama sekali. Dan dia ada pilihan untuk main mau di timnas Spanyol juga bisa, tapi dia lebih memilih dengan hati dan ingin main untuk Belanda. Dan ini menarik buat saya sendiri ya, karena ini adalah banyak yang bisa dicocokin sama Indonesia saat ini juga. Timnas juga penuh dengan pemain lokal dan juga diaspora, dan ini mungkin bisa jadi sesuatu yang sangat relatable buat Jordi. Saya juga ingin tahu apakah ini bisa membantu justru dia dengan role-nya sebagai penasihat teknis, dan dia juga merasa ada banyak kesamaan ya antara sepak bola di Belanda maupun sepak bola di Spanyol, di mana targetnya adalah untuk menang tapi juga main sepak bola yang indah, dan ini semoga bisa membantu dia juga untuk bisa terapkan joint culture ini di Indonesia juga di sepak bola kita di PSSI. I want to go to some of your other worldly experiences, because not only have you spent a lot of time in Europe in some of the best leagues, but you've also had time in Asia. Your time when you were in China, what was your experiences in regards to comparison? How was football in Asia different from what you had experienced prior to that?
Well, I think one of the key points, I think it's the detection of young talents. I think it's a huge country, so it's very difficult to unify criteria, to have the same philosophy for everyone. And I think that's the main difference. When young players make a debut in Barcelona at the age of 17, 18, people just see the game. But there's a lot of invisible work being done already from the age of 7 or 8 years old with these players who just don't appear. It's a development, and the quicker you can find young talent and the earlier you can develop them, the better they will be when they reach the premium age in which they have to play for the club, for the national team. So I think that's one of the key points. But from my experience in Asia, of course, you have to adapt. You can't just copy everything. You just need to adapt, to understand different cultures, different ways of thinking, and then you try to unify the idea to try to get the best results. And to be honest, I loved the experience there. There was 2 different clubs for 3 seasons, even though it was a bit in the COVID time, so it was difficult. The leagues were stopped for a while, but I really loved that experience.
Yeah. Yang saya tanyakan adalah pengalaman Jordi saat dia menangani klub di Asia, dan apa sih bedanya sepak bola di Asia yang paling mencolok untuk dia dibandingkan sepak bola di Eropa. Dan dia yang terutama adalah developmentnya sepak bola di umur yang muda, dimana kalau di Eropa contohnya yang pasti beliau udah banyak pengalaman di Barcelona, banyak sekali sering kita lihat pemain sepak bola di Barca mungkin debut di umur 17, 18, terus kita lihat wow ini sepak bola yang jago, yang hebat. Tapi sebenarnya di belakang itu sudah ada banyak development bertahun-tahun untuk pemain sepak bola ini sampai ke titik tersebut. Dan itu satu hal yang bisa dilakukan sebagai contoh di Asia juga, di mana pesepak bola bisa mungkin dicari, dididik dengan baik dari umur yang sangat muda, agar mereka saat udah masuk ke umur-umur yang mereka bisa debut, skill levelnya dan lain-lain, dan mentalnya juga sudah siap untuk bisa di level yang lebih tinggi lagi. Real quick, before I give the media chance to ask some questions, Obviously, with the diaspora that we have here, along with the local players, with your father being who he is, total football is something that I think many countries would love to be able to emulate. How can you bring your personal experience as a technical advisor to give more of a merger or a bridge between our two countries in order to have a better quality of football here in the country?
Well, I think, of course, things don't happen from one day to another. Yes, of course, we come here to try to bring the quickest immediate results that we can, to create the belief, to create the happiness, to give a right answer to all the passion that people have for football here and for the country. But I think it also takes a little bit of time. You can't just expect in one day things change. But I do think the decisions are being made. Good players who have choices, they choose to play for their roots, for this country. And I think people can see it both ways. It's happening everywhere. It's a very general thing nowadays in football.
It's true.
But the fact is there's a lot of young talents at a young age who might still have an opportunity to play for the country that they've basically playing for many years. But still they have to make a choice, and they choose to respect their roots, the parents' roots, the grandparents' roots. And I think that's very positive. And I think people have to see it in a very positive, admiring way, because they follow the heart. And that's probably the best decision you can make. Yeah, it happened to me without playing in Holland, speaking more Spanish and Dutch, but I played for the Holland national team because that's what was my heart saying. And I had a beautiful choice, Spain or Holland, but I chose Holland. So I think that's a very positive step. It means the belief is there. It means these players, they want to come here and they want this country to be proud of them. And I think it's something we should really respect and admire, because it's a beautiful thing to follow your family's roots. I respect it a lot.
Great, well said. Basically, this is just the first step in your appointment as a technical advisor. Obviously, this is more of a long-term plan as well in regards to the development. So we will look forward as well to you having a team around you as well to help continue this strategy ahead. Yang saya tanya adalah sekarang dengan kedatangan diaspora kita, pemain-pemain yang sudah bergabung sama timnas dengan Total Football dari Belanda, gimana caranya untuk lebih menjembati dua negara ini agar dengan kehadiran technical advisor yang baru bisa lebih menyatu lagi. Dan justru dia juga karena pengalaman dia sangat mirip juga, dia main di negara lain, dia bahasa utamanya juga Spanyol, tapi dia akhirnya memilih untuk main untuk timnas Belanda. Nah ini dia bisa relate sama pemain-pemain diaspora yang punya keturunan Indonesia yang akhirnya walaupun tinggal dan main di luar negeri, di negara lain, tapi memilih untuk membela negara kita Indonesia. Dan ini bisa jadi hal yang positif yang bisa menyatukan timnas Indonesia. Dan yang terakhir adalah ini adalah titik pertama aja, karena ini adalah long term plan yang durasi panjang, di mana nanti akan ada role lain yang terisi, terutama Dirtek, dan selain itu akan ada supporting staff juga untuk membantu perkembangan sepak bola di Indonesia.